All right, I'm going to go ahead and replace the HWH master relay solenoid on the 2015 Tiffin Phaeton 36GH. That's based on the symptoms that I had for hydraulics. I'm going to go ahead and show you the part, and then I'll show you the tools that I'm going to use, and I'll show you how to change this out. So this is the part that I got. You can see it's the master relay. See here, there's the master relay switch, and it's directly from HWH, and you can see the part is RAP 38933, and I'll show you the tools that I'm going to use as well. Now, as you can see, I have the master relay, and they do give you a wiring diagram. However, I'm going to show you a little easier way to make sense of this because it has no colors, and we'll go ahead and I'll get the tools ready for this. All right, so the main tools I'm going to need are a 1/2 inch and a 3/8. So let's go over here and we'll take a look at the master relay location. So here's your front door on the 36GH. Here's all your storage compartments. Where the propane is located is right where your hydraulics are located. And as you can see, right there is your master relay. So that's the one that I believe is bad. This is run off of your chassis battery. We're going to go back here to the chassis batteries, and your chassis batteries are located in here. So here's your chassis batteries, and this is on. We're going to shut them to off. So that means that your chassis batteries are now off. So you shouldn't have any power. The other thing you're going to want to do is take a picture of the wiring. So it makes it easier. Like I said, this is kind of an easier way to do this as opposed to just looking at the picture with no colors. You can see that you have your reds, you have a white, you have a black, and you have another red. So basically there's a switch in here and it connects these two things together. So what happens is as soon as you push the button, these control wires flip the switch, makes the connection, and your hydraulics work. So the other thing that I'm going to need, as I didn't cover in there, is a Phillips screwdriver, and that is going to remove this relay from the wall. Like I said, I'm going to unscrew this from the wall of the RV so that we can get to this easier. One screw, once you've loosened that, then you can see that it basically is pretty loose. Now, this is the other thing that's pretty interesting, is that this is a pretty simple setup. It doesn't take a whole lot to accomplish. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this is probably one of the easiest things that you can do, because it's just unscrewing these and then making sure they go back into the right place and then putting it back together. So, and then turning your batteries on. So let me go ahead and start that. I also think there's something that you might notice is that this is curved. So right here, curved, and this one is flat so that it'll mount to that wall. So basically all I'm going to do is use a pair of pliers and bend these flat so that I can mount it in the same location. Doesn't hurt it because it's just the mounting bracket. And then I'm just going to test it to see how it will mount in here, and then basically it'll mount just like that. So that should be fairly simple. Go ahead and get these taken off of here. One thing that I think is important is if you're going to take these off, that the way that you take these off is in a way that you can put them back on in a very similar way. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So since I took this one off, I'm going to take this one off, put the wires onto it like so. That also is an easy way for you to make sure that you don't connect these wires to the wrong position. So put that locking washer up there, and then I'm basically going to be tightening this down. This way you may want to swap wires, make sure you have the same distance. All right, now that I have all of those, I can go ahead and I'm just going to slide this onto this mount, and then I can use the screwdriver, tighten it down. And there you have it. That's all there is to it, changing out the master relay. So let's go inside, see if this works. All right, first thing I need to do is turn the chassis battery on. Now that the chassis battery is on, I go ahead and start up the RV. All right, now that the RV is running, I'm going to go ahead and let the air start up on this, and then we'll check out the leveling jacks. This here is the HWH leveling, and the main thing to do on this is you can see that it is currently in travel mode. You can see these two are off. This basically gives you an indication that you're not level, and then I'm going to go ahead and I push this button, and it basically is letting the air out, and you can see that the whole system is lowering. And then after this, you will see that my jacks should start coming down, and my jacks are located in here, and we'll see what happens after I get this situated. And guess what? All of my jacks are coming down now. There's that one, that one, and you can see the other one on the other side is down. So all of the jacks are now functioning. They're leveling. They basically will adjust and level the RV automatically. And then I should also have, I'm going to let it do its thing. So now that the jacks are down, I can go ahead and go inside. I can see that it is all leveled. You see all four squares are red. That means that the RV is leveled. Now I can also check, because my slides were affected by this. This means that my hydraulic slides didn't work, and that means my passenger nor my driver's side worked. So go ahead and hit the passenger side, and you can see it is working as expected. And then my driver's side extend. And we've had this RV sitting here, plugged in, pretty much in storage mode, while we were out traveling. So there we have it. Now we are fully functional. All right, so the RV is leveled. The leveling jacks are working and my hydraulic slides are working. So everything is functioning as expected. And I hope that helps somebody. So if you guys have any questions or need any information about the part or anything at all, some other situations like how to get your slides in if they're out and your relay goes out, I know how to do that because I've had to do that before. But that's a 2015 Tiffin Phaeton, and it's the HWH leveler master relay. They call it a solenoid, but it's master relay switch, and that's how you replace it. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and you won't miss any of our videos. Thanks again.